we're gonna go over an instructional on how to set up this $800 Amazon batting cage by yourself. I think for most people, they're gonna need 2 people to do it, but it's completely possible to do by yourself, just in case your other teammates' parents aren't as obsessive as you are about putting up and tearing down batting cages before games. So the first step that you want to do is you want to get this bottom segment from here to here connected to the other bottom segments, just like this. And the way that you do that is you can just attach the supporting pole here, and then you just lay it on the ground while your other hand connects or grabs this, and then you connect it. And just that little segment itself, with the legs turned in this direction, which is not their final direction, is going to give it enough stability. And then you just keep adding on until you get to the end. Now you just repeat the same process with the other parts. That part's pretty easy. You could have figured that out yourself, most likely. The tricky part is the top, how to do this. So we have one long side, that'll be important, and then one narrow side, just like this. And you want to attach them with the feet in this direction so that it goes in the way that you're not intending, because there's going to be enough stability to keep it upright. Now this is going to be pretty tricky to show you, but you do need a ladder. It fits in my tiny little car over there, that little Nissan Leaf. But the ladder will play an important role. Sorry about the camera angle right now. Now, for the long end, you're gonna rotate just this one leg over, and it's gonna rest the end of this to the top of the ladder. And then you climb the ladder, and then you rotate that one in and connect them at the top. So I don't know if I can do this very well filming, but let's give it a shot. Sorry about the angle. So you can see that it's attached to the top of the ladder just like this. And I have a little nook on the top of the ladder that I use. And then I can grab this, look how it's rotating the foot to its final position. It's a little unstable until we get this in. All I'm gonna do when the camera is down on the ladder is connect these 2 poles together. So I'm gonna do that and then show you. So now we have our first bar, and that gives the whole thing a lot more structure and stability. And then when we get that second bar on in the same process, then it's really kind of good to go as far as, achieving a base level stability. Now, a note is that I'm not using guy wires. I'm just using sandbags. If it's windy, don't use this cage without guy wires. But we have very moderate winds around here. I'm just weighing down at the very end when they're in their final position and the net is on. With sandbags, it's probably not necessary, but if you're only using it for hitting, the only problem is that there's kids and who knows what the heck they're gonna do to the cage while we're playing the game. Another little helpful tip for you is I'm putting together the long part of the top. So I'm putting in like the long section that goes still about there that I put on the ladder. Is that when you connect these, there's these kind of pressing, locking mechanisms. You want to make sure that this is on the inside part, because what happens is when you switch it to this direction and then you lock it in, it sticks up on the top, you can see like this, and then when you put the net over the top, it's constantly catching on this little part where you'll need to reposition your ladder, and you just want to be able to drag it over as smooth as possible. So that's a little tip for you. Another little tip is when you go to put up these end segments like this, it depends which side you put this on, where the top part attaches. So to rotate this into position, look, I need to rotate it in this direction, which means that in order to set it up correctly and to click it, that this top piece, which is kind of unstable until we get it in the right spot, would need to face outwards over no base like this. So this is kind of an easy fix. If you just need to go to the correct direction, you can just switch it. It just rotates and swivels freely. And then I can connect it over its support base. Imagine we're on top here. I'm not gonna hold it up any higher. So it just goes over that previously connected support, gives it more stability until you turn it. So for you people that need to see a visual, now because I turned it that way on the outside, now when I turn it, it's yeah, or until I turn it, it's going to be quite stable over this previously existing segment and not having to face this way where there's no supporting column over on that side. So this is what it looks like in its frame. When you're not filming and you're actually wanting to do this in a hurry, I could probably do that in 20 minutes with another maybe 15 to put up the net. I'm not going to film putting up the net. Put up the net. You kind of get how to do that. Okay, I lied. So I spread out the net and then I just pull it over kind of right in front of me like this. And then I know I'm at the end of the net when I see this like extra tie thing and like the bigger cables form like a right angle. And here's what I do, because I'm only one person, is I hook the net onto this part to give me a temporary like hold. Or actually, no, I tend to use this one a little bit more. There's one right here, that one. You can just kind of hook the net around it. You have to unhook it when you slide it over, but just, it's that extra set of hands that you don't have. Hang on, I'm gonna show you. So just over, just like that. So we have that kind of more or less in line. Otherwise the net can be crooked. And I kind of repeat that process, hooking on those screws right there for each one on the bottom.